My name is Mark Tedeschi and I'm the author of Missing, Presumed Dead. The book is an account of an incredible police investigation into the two murders of Kerry, Whelan and Dorothy Davis. It was an investigation that went on for a long time and had many facets to it. And then when Bruce Burrell was charged with the two murders, it's an account of the trials that took place in the Supreme Court of New South Wales for those murders that resulted in convictions. It was not a smooth process, it was not a quick process, it was very complex, and I wrote the book primarily because the average person can never hope to understand how complex these investigations and these trials can be, and very few people can sit through a 3-month trial, and most of these trials lasted 3 months. So it's an account for the ordinary layperson of these two murders as a classic example of complex police investigations and criminal trials. Oh yes, I've always been closely associated with libraries. I suppose initially school libraries, but my family always had lots of books. Then I went to law school, Sydney University Law School, which at that time was in the city. And of course I used the law school library a lot, but during exam times I used the State Library of New South Wales, the Mitchell. I left most of my studying until right at the end of the year, so I'd kind of come in at 9 o'clock in the morning and work through till 9 o'clock at night, try and catch up for all the work that I should have done during the year. I'm pleased to say that for some years now I've been a member of the Council of the State Library of New South Wales, so I'm still very closely associated with libraries. I'm a great fan of libraries. I believe that in suburban and regional areas, libraries and public art galleries are the centerpieces of the community. They play a very important role in the cohesion of a community, and they provide a very important service for the community. When I was a child, I read Adventurous Four, Famous Five, Secret Seven, so lots of Enid Blyton. I read Biggles as a child. Yeah, just the usual things that young boys read, or read in those days. I don't think they do anymore. I've read a book recently on the history of Genghis Khan and the Mongol Empire. Beautifully written. I was so impressed with his style and his clarity and the depth of his research that I bought another book of his on the history of money, which I also found very interesting. When I'm not writing and I'm not doing legal work, I do a bit of photography, and I love bushwalking, and outside of the COVID era I like travelling, and I'm just about to start that again in 2 days. I do a bit of gardening, a bit of bonsai, yeah, a lot of varied activities.